As far as getting into the mode of being creative, I don't think there's really anything that I do to do that. It just, I don't have any trouble with being creative. In fact, it's maybe the opposite, is having too many ideas and the process of focusing on what's most important and the priority of that. But writing things down, when those ideas come, write them down anyway, even if I don't think that's important right then. Go ahead and write it down, because it might be important later, and then maybe categorize those.
So how do you do that? Do you have a process of prioritizing?
Yes. Measuring whether it's urgent or not urgent, or important or not important, is and focusing on the important things that are important to do now. So it's become more like that than the creativity is in putting everything together now. Once all those elements are in place, so
synthesize it.
Right. When I start in on it, I lose track of all time. Lose track of. I don't feel cold, or I don't feel hunger. Brenda, fortunately, comes and sets food in front of me once in a while. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know that I was hungry. I could stay up for 30, 40 hours and without even eating, and just focus on getting all that out and getting it on written down and stuff. And when I'm working on it, I have no concept of time or place or anything. I'm just in a different realm. And
is it because you feel passionate about what you're doing, or is it just because you know how to focus well?
Yes.
It's all the above, right?
It's all the above. What about you?
I think inspiration and creativity take many forms. For me, inspiration can come from a drive out in the countryside. Sometimes when I take cross-country trips, I get into what I call cerebral traction. Your mind stretches out when your eyes stretch out to the horizon.
That's so true.
You see the sculpted horizon in the past as you go through this space in the car. Music is another source of inspiration. I also like to meet people that are really committed to what they do. They're really good at it, they've worked at it. There's certainly those that have put the effort into it. I like to not just see them perform or read about their work, I actually want to talk to them, because then the ideas can really flow, and they mutually support each other in that process. And I think that sort of collaborative thing is a really important mechanism. Speaking of all that, that's why we move forward as a species. That's what distinguishes us from the other species, Not to diminish at all, the intelligence in animals and the feelings they may have. They do, but we operate on a whole different level. And we have a quest. That quest is going to always be with us. To try to artificially stop it, I think, is a big mistake. It doesn't mean that you do foolish things, dangerous things. There's a concept called the precautionary principle. There are certain things, if there's any reasonable uncertainty that could cause great danger, then you don't do it until you know more about it. So there are limits on what you might do with inspiration and creativity. But other than that, I think that that's how we're built as a species, is to quest forward.